Some classes within the phylum include Turbellaria, Monogenea, Trematode, and Cestode. When it comes to species, flatworms come in a great variety. They come in many colors and sizes and can live on land, in saltwater, and in freshwater. Some species include Pseudoceros dimidatus, Pseudoceros bifurcus, and Pseudobiceros gloriosus. Having a flattened shape allows oxygen and nutrients to pass through their bodies by diffusion. The digestive cavity has only one opening for both feeding and excretion. As a result, the food cannot be processed continuously. Once the food is ingested, the food moves around in the internal system that stretches throughout the body. They eat nutrients from other organisms such as parasites, small organisms, or dead animals. Flatworms absorb oxygen directly through the skin into their body's cells. This mechanism is known as cutaneous respiration, skin breathing, or diffusion. Unlike other bilaterians, they are coelomates, which means they have no body cavities and have no specialized circulatory and respiratory organs. Flatworms are able to reproduce asexually and sexually, but sexual reproduction is preferable. If a worm is cut in half, the head of the worm will regenerate a tail, and the severed tail will also regenerate a new head, asexually resulting in 2 flatworms. Flatworms engage in a process of sexual reproduction known as penis fencing. The worm that lays the sperm on the skin of the other does not have to embrace the role of motherhood. The sperm is absorbed through the skin and matures into an egg inside of the worm before being laid in a place of interest. A flatworm has a very simple nervous system with 2 nerve cords running down either side. It has 2 simple brains called ganglia, which are simple bundles of nerves. Flatworms use their nervous system and eyes to detect stimuli in the environment. They were one of the first organisms to have eyes that told them the intensity and the direction of light. The nervous system tells the organism to use extensive muscular systems to move cilia under their body to where it wants to go. Utilizing a slime coating covering their entire body, they can swim in water and move across land at ease. All flatworms have bilateral symmetry. As stated before, flatworms have an incomplete digestive system with only one opening. Due to this, they eat and expel waste from the same opening. They also have a simple brain and nervous system, which creates a head area and eye spots that are able to sense light. They move by contracting muscle cells or the movement of tiny hair-like structures on the body called cilia. Using the basic process of cell division, flatworms are able to regenerate missing pieces of their bodies. Without regeneration abilities, losing part of their bodies could be fatal. This adaptation also provides another form of asexual reproduction. Also, parasitic flatworms have hooks on their mouths that allow them to securely
are invertebrates that are famous for stinging cells, and they have radial symmetry. Let's take a look at probably the most famous cnidarian, the jellyfish. Cnidarians are famous for their sting. However, some do have a sting in which they inject venom, and others entangle their prey with sticky hairs or tentacles. Here's what a harpoon would look like from a cnidarian with a stinging cell. There are two main types of cnidarians. The medusa have their tentacles hanging down. Let's take a look at a medusa. In which the tentacles are facing upward. The sea anemone is the most famous here. Cnidarians move by jet propulsion inside their bell, and what happens is that it allows them to propel themselves forward. Not real fast, but it works. Sea anemones can move also. They move very slowly over the rocks, or they may move with a wiggle with their base. Take a look at this example. Cnidarians do not have a central nervous system, but they do have a very crude nervous system, or a nervous net. Cnidarians can reproduce both sexually and asexually, and with asexual reproduction, they bud or they divide into a new organism. Here's an example of one life cycle. There are your cnidarians, the stinging or sticky animals. They sometimes run your visit to the beach.
Ctenophora. Ctenophores are commonly known as sea walnuts or comb jellies. They are exclusively marine, radially symmetrical, diploblastic organisms with tissue level of organization. The body bears 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates which help in locomotion. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. Bioluminescence, the property of a living organism to emit light, is well marked in ctenophores. Sexes are not separate. Reproduction takes place only by sexual means. Fertilization is external with indirect development. Examples: Pleurobrachia and Ctenoplana.